What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hello everyone and welcome into the show. Welcome on in each and every one of you spacecrafts. Where are my spacecrafts out there? You're not really a vehicle. You're an artifact. You don't get crewed, but man, it feels like crew, and you want to say crew when you do it. But we are stationing the spacecrafts, and I welcome those spacecrafts in. There's plenty of room for you out here in space. Boy, it is vast. Boy, it is dark. And boy, it is cold. And we got a lot of it to explore. Hello, and welcome in to Hunt the Week, your weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Arena Gauntlet League that we know, love, and play in. I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home. I am a 6-time top 8er, a 2-time league winner, and 1 time I got to do commentary again and again and again with mishaps that we're going to talk about. This is week 1 of Edge of Eternities. We are here. We have made it. We've got our crews, our little spaceships. We've got our friends. We've got our foes. We've got our ship and our path that we're taking. And we've got a song from Kevin Icony, 1993. Let's start the show off with that.
Captain's log, 6 souls on a ship, chasing worlds named after legends. New horizons, new battles, no turning back. We're charting stars on a midnight sky. Every name's a story, every set's alive. From Dominaria to Zendikar plains, with a crew that runs on fire and chains. Engines humming, gravity breaks, 6 hearts pounding as the universe shakes. One shot, one course, can't let it fade. Edge of Eternities, we're not afraid. Hey, 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 all systems go. Planet to planet, we're stealing the show. Hey, 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 this is our fate. We ride through the cosmos, we don't hesitate. Get huge! Get huge! Edge of Eternity! The captain's calling out the stars ahead. Chief officers making sure we're not dead. Lieutenants plotting that final gate. And my engineers, oh, let's set this straight. Engines humming, gravity breaks, 6 hearts pounding as the universe shakes. One shot, one course, can't let it fade. Edge of Eternities, we're not afraid. Hey, hey, all systems go. Planet to planet, we're stealing the show. Hey, hey, this is our fate. We ride through the cosmos, we don't hesitate. Shout out to all my engineers who aren't pulling their weight. Get huge! From Alpha to Ikoria, from Calais to Mirrodin, we're storming every world and we're never giving in! Hey, hey, all systems go. Planet to planet, we're stealing the show. Hey, this is our fate. We ride through the cosmos, we don't hesitate.
Kevin is the best. He's putting together a playlist again for the songs he's going to make for this league, which means he's going to keep making them, which I can't thank him enough for. Thank you so much, Kevin. You know I think you're the best, and I can't believe how good these songs are. They raise the quality of my show so much. Thank you. And they're great. They're so good. But we got to talk about it. Let's go ahead and let's see how big space is.
Space, it says, is big, really big. You just won't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. I mean, you may think it's a long way down the street to the chemist, but that's just peanuts to space.
That's right. As I record, it is currently 4:37 on Thursday. And this is your Edge of Eternities top 8. Number 1, Jack H. Rakic, 5-0. He's on the fodder cannon. Number 2, Guillaume, K1Z1, Belgium, on the Man of War. James W. Alienis, he's on the, Sovereign de Say. I can't even read it all. It's cut off. I'm sorry. 5-0. Daniel K. WKUN Fan, 89. The Gallia. DeWitt K. Seething Octopus on the Dream Trawler, 5-0. 1 through 5 is all 5-0, with Jack H. Rakic having a fantastic OMW to be on top. And then 4-1, Leia H. Castilia, the TARDIS. Steve R. Grebnezer on the Parhelion 3. That's my ship. Thank you. Thank you for helping and winning. Juan Q. Hand of Honor, 4-1. Varu L. Tamamo, the RMS Titanic. Stephen H. Craith is on the Equinox. Justin P. Code Pigeon is on the Hypersonic Dragon. Wyatt C. Hot Dolphin on the Equinox. Tim O. Zevin on the Mole Drifter. Asher L. Chromatically is on the Nyx Fleet Ram. Kevin L. Ginja is on Hypersonic Dragon. 2 Hypersonic Dragons in there. Look at that. And Tomas B. is on the Scuttlebutt. 2 on the Equinox as well. It's a lot. It's a lot for me to read, but I like that it's there. I like the ship names. It's week 1. Everyone that's 5-0. And here's the thing. 4-1 start at 6th place. And 4-1 goes all the way down to 59th. There's 53 people 4-1 in this league. I think I've done leagues with less than 50 people in them. I want to say. We're close to, anyway. It's a big league, is what I'm trying to say. 50 people at 4-1. I mean, it'll all get evened out in the end. It always does. But for week 1, it's a lot. And if you're 4-1, you could be in the top 8. You could be 59th. It's crazy. Edge of Eternities, how are we doing? What's going on? I went 2-3. Struggling. Okay, starting the struggle early. I struggled at the beginning of Final Fantasy League. I also went 2-3 to start Final Fantasy League. I did bemoan it. I did make the top 8 that league. That deck was a lot better than this deck is. I can already tell you that. I just don't think this deck is that good. I feel myself struggling. I started on blue-black. I said I'm going to play just 2 colors, go down to 2 colors as fast as I can. I could start with 2 colors. And I was like, I'm just going to try to take advantage of people, playing 3-4 stuff. Didn't work out, lost. Open a Final Fantasy pack, because I see the writing on the wall for that planet. Final Fantasy going away. Lose again. Add in a splash. Go, hey, 2-color ain't working. Let's add in a splash. Lose right away. It's not working. Open up an Edge of Eternities pack. I figure we're staying in set. At this point, OTJ has been found. I know OTJ's here next week. I'm fine to open OTJ packs. Let's get some of these EOEs out of the way. Switch the deck again. Third deck was blue-black. Then I was Esper. Now I think I'm Sultai. And that wins. That deck gets a win. Feeling okay. Go okay. I'm 2-1. Lose again. And I'm doing that thing where every time I lose, I'm changing the deck. The deck doesn't feel good. I'm not enjoying the deck I have. I'm just like, this doesn't, I don't feel like I'm keeping up with anybody. This deck doesn't feel strong. switch it up to Jund for the last match. Get the wind. Jund feels pretty good. This is what I've kind of learned in week 1, and this is my this was my impression. You want to play green. You really want to play green. This is like a green format, or it seems like it's a green format. Maybe just because green makes splashing everything so easy. And not only splashing, but like there's so many big things to do in green, and there's big expensive spaceships. And it's so easy to get to 7, 8, 9 mana when you have the landers finding the lands, whether or not you're hitting the land drops. And black and red are just great. Like that's kind of what I'm seeing everyone else is. People are playing black and red. Like black and red is a great combo. It's a good color pair. It's the artifact stuff that cares about artifacts, and it seems to be working out. And because of that, me landing on Jund, I feel like I'm there, right? Like, 'cause like I feel like I wanted green, and then I got good red, I got good black. So we just kind of fill it out. I don't know that I'm staying 3-color. I don't know that I want to be 3-color, but I also don't know that this. I mean, landers make it easy. They make it easy, don't it? But 2-3 going into week 2. Again, I don't feel great about the deck, but who knows? Maybe it's going to pick up. I've got some 3-packs. I've got a bunch of extra stuff now, and maybe now that we're on Jund, maybe that's what I was missing. Maybe I just wasn't on the right deck. I always sometimes I can really struggle with finding what deck I'm supposed to be playing. Hopefully we found it. It felt good. It felt good at the end of the week. Final Fantasy is going away. Tarkir Dragonstorm is going away next week. They found a bunch of planets. The first planet found was by Cody's crew, because Cody is, Cody's Cody, man. What can you say? 6 Kids in a Trench Coat. They found Dreamroot Cascade. So next week we will have Vow, which isn't super exciting. Not really a crazy set you want to go for. Nakata Warp Pride discovered ZNR. They got Skyclave Relic. That's a pretty good one. I mean, those are both pretty good. Land and Relic. Good fixing. OTJ was discovered by Bob's crew. Nice. And they got Roxanne, the Bloody Moon. And, like, Roxanne is a bomb. Wow. The rares, the other rares they've been giving out, nothing too crazy. That's a good card. That card will win games. The Voidwalker found Guilds of Ravnica. They've got Aurelia. Not a bad hit. The Revenant discovered Pioneer Remastered. Pioneer Masters. They got a Liliana of the Dark Realms. It's a Planeswalker, but a bad one. Goblin Balloon Brigade found DMU, Dominaria United. They got a pretty bad Saga. Sorry. M21 was found by the Nyx Fleece Ram. They all got Karvek the Spiteful. Kind of a fun one, but a weird one. The Ember Chad discovered Kaldheim. They all got Battle for Bredegard. Again, bad Saga. And it looks like Aether Drift has also collapsed. So these planets are going away. All the collapsing planets won't be available for picks next week. The ones that stay will be until they go away. So Duskmourn, there's a couple left. That'll probably go away next week. OTJ is in the mix, so OTJ is going to go away next week, but it's going to be like the pack to get. I'm banking on us finding another strong set by week 3. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping we find our Mom or even our Phyrexia all will be one. Maybe even a War of the Spark. You know, there's some other strong stuff out there for us to find. There's a lot more play boosters to get in there too. So I'm hoping we'll find another strong one before week 3, and it'll be easy to know what set to go to. Because this week is OTJ. I might not open any Edge of Eternities packs this week. Yeah, although hopefully I don't lose this week. That's kind of what we want, right? And there's been a lot of stuff going on, a lot of side events going on. The Final Fantasy draft, me and Chris, our Sakewater, did commentary for that on Sunday. We got to watch Sawyer take that home with a sweet Atraxa deck. Then we got to also do commentary on Tuesday for the finals between Matthew H., almost guest on the podcast, and Sawyer, which were great, super awesome, great games. Unfortunately, my recording got all messed up. The video didn't turn out. Audio only. Big surprise. The podcast guy gets the audio right. I'm super upset about it, but, you know, we're moving on. I bought a second monitor today so I can look at things and keep track of things and monitor things while I'm doing other things now. So it pushed me to do that, but it also has just really bummed me out. And we got, there's a bunch of Roto events going on. They're getting ready to do side events for Player of the Year. Player of the Year is so close, so get ready for that. Get excited for Player of the Year. That's coming up. That's really exciting. And then we got Edge of Eternities League. It's going strong. It seems fun. We get to move our spaceships around. Moving the spaceship is great. That's super fun. Watching the space get explored. It's been a fun week to watch as a viewer this week, to see all the new players coming in and getting all excited. We got people on our crew that are loving it, and to see the spaceships and the map come alive. It's all been really, really, really great. It's also great to get my guest on this week. So let's go ahead and let's boldly go where no man has gone before.
Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
That's right. This week, we are going to the top. The tippity top. Matthew H. Almost. I say his name all the time on the podcast. He's always doing well. And he's always saying nice things to me about the show. He's a listener. I like that, right? I like that. And Matthew's a great player. Matthew is someone whose name I never want to see come up in the pot. I've said it a bunch in the last week, and we talk about it. Matthew's worst record is 19-11. That's his worst. He didn't top 8 with that. Insane. And Matthew's also just the nicest. The nicest guy. So talking to Matthew's great. It's always great. Thanks for coming on the show. Here's my interview with Mega Draft winner from Final Fantasy League, Matthew H. Almost. All right, everyone, join me this week as we boldly go where no one has gone before with none other than Matthew H., a.k.a. Almost. Welcome to the show, Matthew.
Hey, John. Welcome. It's glad to be here. It's good to be here again.
It's good to be. It's welcome. Oh, my God. Now I'm thrown off. Matthew, it's a pleasure. These circumstances are strange. Let's just get that out of the way right up top. You come on the show because you win the Mega Draft. Of course, you beat me in the finals to win that Mega Draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I, of course, need to bring you on and talk about how you beat me for a while. And it's my plight, Matthew. But I'm so excited to talk to you because you are. You're one of the best. You're one of the best there is, man. Like your record's phenomenal. You're one of the nicest guys, and you get your first Mega Draft win. You've been knocking on its door for so long. How does it feel to get over that hump?
It's pretty exciting. Yeah, it's. I got into the Playground Mega Draft as the first Mega Draft I qualified for,
Nice.
and that one I went 0-3. I was like, man, Mega Drafts are tough. But here's another chance, and I got the 3-0, and it's pretty sweet.
Hey, it was the deck was looking nasty. You were the feature drafter, so they got to follow you throughout the whole thing, which is really, really cool. But let's talk about it. It's your first Mega Draft, your first big win. So you've had one of these before now. Did you have any kind of strategy going into this that wasn't there last time, or were you looking for anything specific, or just kind of seeing what the packs gave to you?
So a little bit of a strategy. So yeah, for the Playground Mega Draft, I tried to be pretty disciplined, keep to a 2-color deck. I think I ended up with like a black-white thing. And I tried to go for some like sacrifice synergies, and it didn't come together. So I decided for this one, I want to be greedy, which means I want to be able to play any bombs that I open or am passed. So I was like, I'm very willing in this case to be like 3 colors or green multicolor so that if I see a bomb, I can play it and get the powerful cards. And so I think I took some ramp and fixing early on, and then I ended up with a 3-color, ramp deck that ended up outvaluing some of the more aggressive decks in the long game.
Yeah, and it really worked out. Your fixing specifically was so good. And I think it's so funny because I did a practice Mega Draft, and I was talking a lot to Jonathan P. Wheat for Days. And we were kind of testing together, and I was like, here's my secret, man. Just don't play 3 colors. Like, that's all you got to do. Like, don't play 3 colors. And then he has to watch me lose to a 3-color deck in the finals. And I was like, hey, man, that was like, you know what? maybe don't listen to me, John. Maybe I don't know what's going on in these mega drafts because the 3, 4 color thing has been it's been kind of taken off in the play booster era. It seems like.
Yeah, I think it does depend on how many people are competing for some of the like the fixing or the multicolored cards.
Hmm.
But in this case, like a lot of, I think there were multiple people going for like black, white, or red, blue, or these like two color decks, so that there wasn't like the green was fairly open in my seat, I think.
Yeah, in our mega draft there were 3 white black drafters. Um, so it's like those colors really got eaten up, but then blue and green and red were all open to be splashed, and those are the colors you seem to find yourself in. Look at that! Look at that! Look how that works out.
Yeah.
And your draft goes well. Do you feel good about your draft when you're done? Do you feel like you have a winning mega draft deck, or do you just feel, hey, I stayed open, I did what I wanted to do, and who knows?
I felt pretty good after the draft. I will say though, I think the sixth pack of that draft ended up working very well for me. Was the last Final Fantasy pack. I got
Hmm.
a bunch of top end because I had like ramp and card draw, but then in the last pack I got like Gladiolus, the 6 mana creature that ramps, and then the
Yes,
7/7 that destroys an artifact or enchantment, and some other good just like more top end stuff.
and
But
that's exactly what your deck wanted, right? Your deck, like I said, it fixes so well, it ramps well. It just needs to kind of stay alive long enough to play these big creatures, and then it's going to be really hard to get through. And that's how it was. I mean, that's how it worked out. I only got to see the end of your second match, and of course your third. Uh, but the deck played great. You got your first Mega Draft win, taking down John P. Goku or Go Home in the finals. Uh, You've got to be so excited, Matthew. You're going to the since now we do the top 16. You got to play Sawyer, um, who won the other Mega Draft. Did you catch any of that? Were you around to see any of Sawyer's games?
I saw the later part of that, I think. So I saw some of Sawyer's games. It looked like he was green, blue, splashing for Atraxa and some black cards. So I saw some of his games. I'm excited for, the Battle of the Mega Drafts final afterwards.
Yeah,
I'm happy with my deck, so like it's also exciting to have a chance to play another match with that.
yeah,
And in this case, we're both kind of trying to go big, and we'll see how it goes. It's very
yeah.
hard for me to predict.
I think it's going to be really interesting because we've seen what your deck can do. Like your deck, it wants to play the long game as much as his deck does, and we saw the Legolas fight spells. Your deck can kind of just start machine gunning things down. But I also have seen that your deck, I mean, if it gets off on the right foot, it also can just start being a little aggressive too. So yeah, I'm excited. You guys don't have that. You haven't booked it yet, have you? You haven't picked a
We
day.
tentatively scheduled it for tomorrow so I guess I should say for Tuesday at 6 p.m.
That's super exciting. And it's best of five. Are you gonna practice? Do you have a buddy that's gonna like, build Sawyer's deck and let you run against it a couple times? I know Emmett did that for the last one.
Um, I think I'll probably just wing it.
I love it.
I don't know. It's like it's going to come down to the draws, I think, or like how we play it, and but I think I have a sense of how I want to pilot my own deck in general, and
Hmm.
we'll just see how it lines up.
Just see if he draws a Traxa or not,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. Other than Atraxa, he has a few good cards, but Atraxa is the one that's really big at card advantage and a huge body.
I said it. I did the commentary. If he resolves it, I think he's 99% to win at basically any game. Like I just don't know how you deal with it. Like
Yes.
so tough. But again, your deck is also a tough deck. You got to where you were, and I think it's great because Sawyer is like this league stalwart. So like 16 top eights. This is his third Mega Draft win. And then you got
Oh, he has a
Math.
very solid record.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Sawyer's a phenomenal player and a great guy, just like you, Matthew. Great player, great guy. But you're going in for your first mega draft. We've got the old vet and the rookie. Who can take it home. It's a great storyline. The old school versus the new school. The Zoomers, the Millennials. Yeah, we're gonna see how it all
That's
shakes
right.
out. But I'll be really looking forward to that. If it's tomorrow at 6, yeah, I can't wait to see that. Best of five. Uh,
Yeah,
let's let's talk Edge of Eternities. We are now in Edge of Eternities League EOE. I saw you playing some matches today. How's your EOE going so far?
I I'm only just starting. I was a little bit busy on the weekend, but now yeah, ready to get into my games. I think I just played the one so far. But I did some testing, and at first, tried a couple of three color builds, and I was like, I do not have the fixing for this.
Yeah.
It is so hard. So I found a two color combination that I can play. I have
Nice.
play a few questionable cards, but it's better than making the mana terrible. So I'm happy enough with that for now. But
I love it. I had the same thought process. I was like, I'm going to build a two-color deck. I'm going to play that. And then I lost my first game. And there's like, okay, we're going to three-color. It's not working. And I've been panic switching around uh,
mm,
ever since. Uh, Edge of Eternities, have you been getting your drafts in? Do you like the format so far? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I've done a few drafts. The format's pretty good, yeah. I think there are a lot of interesting decisions, especially with like spacecraft and warp,
Yeah,
about how you want to play your cards. I really like the lander tokens. I feel like everything that makes a lander is just so good.
I agree. I feel
It's
like, yeah, I mean, especially in League, it feels like you got to play green or at least be like something with landers. Like
If you
it's
have the landers, it's like, yeah, I gotta play those colors.
right.
But
It's like,
it's such a good effect because it's like ramp, but also kind of card advantage because you got an extra land.
yeah. And for your stuff that cares about artifacts, it's triggering that. For your stuff that cares about void, it's triggering that. Like it's just like
It triggers
it's
landfall too. Yeah, it does everything.
it's the thing that makes everything work. Because I think warp and void are kind of like just okay mechanics. Warp is I think it's really cool, but it's really just kind of like evoke plus adventure. It's nothing too exciting. Um, Void is, it's fine. Things are leaving. That's fine. But Lander tokens, that's the mechanic that I think is really going to stick with me from this set because it just like it does like seven different things with just stapled onto a body or stapled onto our spell that already does something. Like the value for that Lander token, it's just so huge.
Yeah, it's pretty good value. I also kind of wonder if they'll bring it back or not because it's a named token, sort of like clues and food and treasures and all that.
Yeah, yeah. Things we get a lot. We get those things kind of all the time now. But Lander does kind of make evoke space in some way,
It
doesn't it?
it does seem like the theming might make it harder to bring back.
But we'll see. I mean, maybe we just need a set that's like all the tokens, treasure, food, clue, blood. Bring all the tokens back just for a weird
I
token
guess like
set.
yeah, blood tokens don't come back very often, so it might be similar to that.
No, they don't. But that's fine. They're fine. They're not the best. They're probably one of the worst out of that batch.
Mhm.
But I've been enjoying the Edge of Eternities leagues myself. The drafts. I'm still getting used to everything. Um, what sets do you think are going to play well in league? Especially here we are in week one. We've got our base six packs to choose from. Do you have any thoughts about what sets look like they're going to play really nice with the base set?
So I think for the week one, it's Final Fantasy, Tarkir Dragonstorm,
Hmm.
Duskmorn, Aether Drift, and Foundations.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. And Tarkir and Final Fantasy have already collapsed and will not be here next week. So, uh,
Right. I mean, I think a lot of these starting planets, these are pretty good sets. Like
yeah.
they're recent, they're strong. So there are many good options. I think Foundations is a little bit lower on a power level. And Duskmorn, I think, is a very strong set, but I think the synergies, the themes of Duskmorn don't cross over as well. Things like Eerie and Face Down Permanence, and even like Delirium. So like it's a little bit tough. Depends on what you have. Whereas like Tarkir Dragonstorm, I think is generically strong, and I think that's actually one that's really exciting because fixing is very scarce, and
Hmm.
Tarkir Dragonstorm has so many ways to fix.
Yep.
It's got dual lands, tri lands, the artifacts that sack to find a land,
Hmm.
the creatures, the devotees that filter mana. So if you want fixing, like Tarkir Dragonstorm seems really good. Otherwise, I think Aether Drift has artifact synergy with all the vehicles, and some of that could be good. And Final Fantasy is also just another very strong, solid set. So some good options for this week, but then yeah, it feels like they're all going to collapse and it'll be chaos from here on out.
Let's say you have a choice between Dragonstorm and Final Fantasy. Which one do you think, you would go after? Is there
I
a
think
preference for one?
I think I might go Target Dragonstorm, hoping to get some more mana fixing
Yeah.
because that keeps my options open. But
I
still a solid set. And
Yeah, I think Tarkir is a great set. I think Tarkir is a great set to open. I mean, it's super powerful, and it's powerful like in every slot. Like the uncommons can be super strong. You got all the exhales at common that are really strong, and like you said, all the fixing because there really isn't much fixing. It's really the liner tokens and like the couple little lands here out in space. So
yeah, like if you're not a green deck, like if you just don't have the landers, it's like I'm playing 25 basics and
yeah,
that's the build.
and I'm playing so many of these colorless cards that are not good. It's like that's the
Yeah.
other thing. There's a lot of color. It's like you can build those decks, but you're playing a lot of the clunkers.
Another interesting trade-off for this like week one pack selection is some of these good packs are collapsing, and it
Hmm.
almost feels like it'd be nice to get a loss or two this week to get some of those packs.
It's
But yeah, it's weird. Like I think it's still like you still want to win every game that you can win, but it
mhm.
doesn't feel bad to lose in the first week here when there's some good pack options.
And it's also interesting because you also have your EOE packs that you get to choose when to open up too, right? So if you're in this first week, you're thinking, do I take my Edge of Eternities packs now because it's going to be usually in set. Taking the same packs is a good option. You've already got six of them. You've got the synergy. But like you said, if you want Final Fantasy, if you want Tarkir Dragonstorm, then you can't be taking those packs right now. And guess what? We got OTJ on the horizon. Outlaws of Thunder Junction is going to be here next week. Um, I can't see myself taking any pack but Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
Yeah,
Like
strong set. Assuming, yeah, we got the bonus sheets in them because they're just regular packs.
now I believe we got the bonus sheets. You can open up two different Okos. You can open up that Bonnie Paul, the companions. Um, the companions for Mom. I really hope we find Mom. I want us to find OTJ in week 2, and then Mom in week 3, and then we're just gonna have like these super powerful decks. That's my hope, Matthew.
Yeah, so maybe there'll be good packs. I mean, there's so many, we found so many planets already. So if
Yeah,
this pace continues, then there will be good options.
we found a lot of good ones, but although I think OTJ is far and away like the pack for next week still. Like we found some other good ones, but I don't know that any of them are really gonna compete. But we still got Dustborn. We're still gonna have Foundations.
Yep.
And again, you do also get to open Edge of Eternities, and then again, it's that balance. Do I want the Edge of Eternities, or do I want to try to open that Atraxa from Final Fantasy because it's
Mhm.
Atraxa? You know,
Final Fantasy does have a very good bonus sheet.
it does. That's what there is no bonus sheet in Tarkir Dragonstorm, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the one thing that pushes it over the edge for me as far as picking a pack. It's like, man, that bonus sheet, like you can really spike some stuff, especially, I think I opened one Final Fantasy pack. I got a Sir Conrad. That's not even a great one, but that's in the deck. I'm playing Sir
It's
Conrad in
very
my black
solid,
deck,
yeah.
right? Like, and that's just a bonus. It's a bonus sheet from the bonus card. Ah, yeah, I'm excited to see where things go next week, then the weeks after, because maybe we don't find a strong set for week 3. Like, it could just be all these kind of weaker sets for week 3, and then it gets really interesting, I think, as far as like when there isn't an obvious choice as to what's supposed to be like the best thing to do.
Right, yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Each week we get a new set of packs or a new set of planets.
I mean, hopefully, what if we don't find any next week? I'm sure the odds are almost impossible. But did you find one? Your crew hasn't found one, have they?
We haven't found one, no.
No, I want to find one so bad, don't you? It's like
Yeah,
I want.
seeing those like announcements of such and such a crew got such and such a card. And
Yeah, and there's been some good ones. There's like, I mean, Roxanne's fantastic, but even like the Skyclave relic, like that's good fixing,
yeah, a lot of them looked very playable.
Yeah, so I want to find one, and I want to get a playable card added, at least if not to my pool, to some of the people on my ship. I want them to have a good time, and I want our names to be rung out. It's cool. I want to be a part of the mechanic.
Likewise. But we just gotta explore and see what happens.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to win. You got to win to move the ship, and then you just hope. Any ship movement strategy? Do you guys have a ship moving strategy?
Right now, we're just trying to be efficient. So we're like, there's someone on our left that went in a straight line, someone on our right went in a straight line. So we're just like zigzagging back and forth in this space between.
I love it.
But it does like if the ships that go fast could like try to cut someone off. And I think I
Hmm.
saw that. But then like somebody who got cut off just crossed that trail and then they're back in the open. So it's not too big of a deal.
No,
So
it doesn't seem like you can really mess with somebody.
I
Uh,
do think later in on the later weeks, we're gonna find like I guess more of the space is explored and we're gonna be running out of places to search and
mhm.
then it'll be more complicated. But for now, there's space as far as the eye can see.
But also later, some of these ships are going to become still, right? Like the crew will vanquish on ships at some point, and those ships are going to stop moving.
That's
Um,
true.
that's
That'll be
not
interesting. Yeah, even though that space looked claim, there's nobody exploring
right.
it.
But eventually, there's only going to be a couple ships moving in weeks 5 and 6. So we'll see how that all kind of works out.
Mhm. It's been fun though, just looking at the map and seeing all the crazy paths.
It's super fun. Yeah, I love it. And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer as far as ship movement, as long as your answer isn't I'm following somebody around. I'm exploring explored space. Just don't do that. Just don't do that, and there's no wrong answer. Um, but yeah, the moving the ship thing is super fun. Uh, it's really cool, and I like how we've all got our little groups of our little crews. Our crew's doing a lot of chatting and like talking strategy, but also decks, complaining about bad packs. All that stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the crew mechanic is pretty cool. It feels to me like this is something that could come back. Like here, there's the small incentive of finding planets, but
Hmm.
even if it was literally nothing, but like you're put in a crew, it gives you people to chat with and cheer each other on,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun.
It's great for the community. It's one of those great community mechanics, right? It's not as big as a Tarkir league where we're all split into like all these huge things, but we still have like our small little us versus them mentality. We're in our ship, you're in yours, and we want our ship to do better. Like it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly that.
Matthew, I gotta ask you because you do so well every time. What is it? Your worst record in league is 18 wins and 11 losses, something like that.
My records are 19 wins,
Okay.
20 wins, 21 wins, and then in a 3-week league, 11 wins.
Jesus, Matthew, it's so good.
It's
Yeah, 19 wins is your worst league. Um, what advice can you give us, Matthew? You are obviously um a fantastic player, right? Like those numbers don't lie. I'm not asking what's the juice you got that we don't have, although maybe that's a good question I should be asking. But what's some advice for people who are either coming into League, coming into Magic, 280 person tournament? How do you approach something like that?
I mean, my biggest tip, I think, is like do some practice games. Go to sparring arena, try your deck. Does this work or not? Find out if these cards are good or bad.
Hmm.
And similar to that is getting feedback on your deck if you're unsure. Like there's deck clinic, or in this one, we've got these. Everyone is part of a crew. People in your spaceship are likely happy to take a look at your deck and give some feedback.
Yeah.
So I think like sparring arena and getting feedback on your deck helps a lot at making a good deck and knowing how to play it. I've had a lot of times like it'll come up in practice that I'm like, oh, this card doesn't do quite what I thought I did.
Yeah.
I'm glad I figured out in a practice game and not a real game.
Yep.
And so that's an easy way to just like that'll help you get a good deck and know how to play it well. And uh, some of the other tips I might have depends on how much effort people want to put into the league. Uh, so like I have the 17 lands plugin, and this records match histories.
Hmm.
So sometimes I'll have a game where I thought I was doing really well and then I ended up losing. And I like look through the history afterwards with the, the benefit of hindsight and see, could I have played better? And that's a good way to just like get better as a player, is to occasionally review your games. I don't review every game. Those games that are like, where it was so close,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
done to get that little bit of edge. And
Do
then
you do
also,
you ever go back and look and you go, I did everything right, or like everything? There's no way I would have played the way that I would have needed to play, based off the information I had. Um,
yeah, sometimes that happens. You have to accept there's variance. Even with if you're very happy with your play, you might still lose. Like
sure,
sometimes
yeah,
they just have a crazy bomb, like in Final Fantasy they play Arden and
yeah. What do you do? Yeah.
yeah. Another thing is I like to like the pools are open. Like you can go to the standing spreadsheet, find somebody's pool.
Hmm.
What I'll generally do is at the start of a match, while everything's loading up, I'll just open the pools. I'll sort by rarity, take a quick check, do they have a crazy bomb or a board wipe? And then later in the match, if there's like some critical turn, maybe I'll like check out their filter by instant and see, do they have a counter spell? Do they have something for 2 mana that can kill my 5/5?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, some people just prefer to, just go into the game, play quick, don't worry about it. But it does help to know what's possible
Oh, yeah.
from,
It definitely. I think the people that do that, I know that you're a big proponent of that. I know the Discers are big proponents of that. I know Trevor C, random jobber, I think does that. Jabari was really big on that. The people who do well like to do it. So
yeah, that little edge.
it definitely helps.
One other tip, I guess, is just play slower and don't autopilot. Like take a moment to be like, here's what I would auto this looks good. No, let me just
Yeah.
double check. Is this risky? What if they have a removal spell? Am I dead on board or something like that? And plan out a couple of turns or a couple of moves and think about what might happen. So yeah, just take your time.
That's
Like
something I'm real bad at. I'm real bad at not taking my time and like not just slowing down and thinking about like every possibility. Like I can definitely play a little fast and loose sometimes. Well, Matthew, that sounds great, and I think that's actually great advice all around. The practice games are super important, and there's so many things I catch in a practice that I don't even think about, like, oh, I wish I had a mountain in my sideboard in case this thing comes up, or like, oh, that thing doesn't grab the thing I wanted to, or oh, this is a sorcery I thought it was an instant, or oh, this card actually works really. This card in the sideboard should just be in the main deck, like.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Doing your practice games will get that stuff out of the way. And again, it really does help, especially with like these. We're playing with so many different sets, or we will be by the end of this too, that like it's going to be hard to be playing around Edge of Eternities cards, right? Because you're going to have to be playing around 10, 20 different cards worth of sets, unless you have the pool open. So yeah, open up that pool. Take a look at what they have. Do they have that board wipe? Did you just play right into it? You should have checked first. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep,
All right, we have made it to our league questions. Are you ready, Matthew?
I'm ready.
All right. Our first question from Evan C. Peas of Crab. Do you have any goals for your magic journey at the moment?
Mostly just play for fun, but I like to sign up for some of the competitive events. So like I'll do RCQs that are either limited or standard,
Hmm.
and some of the arena opens or arena qualifiers. And those are a lot of fun. That extra little bit of tension of the competition.
Yeah.
It's exciting, and I can always try to run hot and win one of those.
Hey, you're a great player. I mean, you played in that pro tour, very recently. You're fantastic, and to hear you'll play standard. You jam some standard. I think is really cool. I think a lot of people on the server are limited only, or maybe they dip into commander or cube, But it's not a lot of people that'll just say, yeah, I'll go to a standard RCQ and do my best. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, there are a few shops in my area that'll do standard events sometimes, or it depends on the RCQ season, I guess. A lot of the I guess standard though, half of the time when I'm playing standard at like a weekly event, it would just be playing for fun. So I'm like,
Hmm.
I made a deck with like Chocobo Racetrack and a bunch of Evolving Wilds kind of lands, and I was having a lot of fun. I don't Probably not tier one, but it was great.
Is Chocobo Racetrack Evolving Wilds better not be tier one, but boy, it sounds fun. Do you think the new Chocobo Racetrack is better, the one in this set that makes
Uh,
robots?
the one in this set is definitely better in limited because you can warp it and there are lander tokens flying around.
Hmm.
But in what I was doing in standard, Chocobo Racetrack was better because I had effects like Lumra and uh, Analyst, which get all the lands from your graveyard.
Oh, gross! You're
So
doing
when
gross
you
things,
get
Matthew.
six fetch lands back from your graveyard at once, you make six birds. They all get plus 6 attack, and like,
Oh my gosh! Here, I thought you were just doing some fun little cute
no,
Chocobo
no,
deck.
still gonna
No.
try to win. But uh, there's some interesting interactions with the birds having landfall on Chocobo Racetrack.
Very cool. Very interesting. Our next question from Lata, a birdie. What are your wishes for AGL Con 2026?
I didn't make it to the last one, so I guess the wish is to, find out about it in time to show up. But it sounds like the idea is to meet out, hang out, and play some games. And especially like doing in-person drafts sounds like a lot of fun to me when, yeah, you know everyone enough to banter and get some friendly matches in.
Yeah, it's so fun. I tell you, the friendly banter is through the roof. The table talk, everyone's having a good time, playing good Magic, and again, you're drafted at a high level with a bunch of great players. It's tough Magic. The games and the decks are crazy, uh, but it's a good time, Matthew. Hopefully, we get to see you there. That'd be really great.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Oh, I mean, what's not to like? Magic, people from the server, everyone's having a good time. It's basically Magic summer camp, and doesn't that sound great?
Yeah.
Our next question is from Jonathan P. Wheat for Days. Do you have any experience with any TCGs other than Magic?
So paper TCGs, not so much, but I got into some digital TCGs.
Oh, cool.
Um, s- so, I mean, I've tried a variety of digital card games, including single player things, but I've played a lot of Eternal Card Game, which is similar mechanically to Magic, but it's a digital card game.
Hmm.
It came out, I guess, back in the time when like MTGO was the way to play Magic online, and Arena wasn't either didn't exist or wasn't very good.
Yeah.
And so at that time, Eternal Card Game was a pretty good option for like an online digital card game with similar mechanics. And I played that a lot. So then I had a lot of the cards I could do, build some exciting brews. And I had a lot of fun there. But then for Eternal Card Game, for a while, they were actually running a lot of big tournaments. Like several times a year, they would have a tournament with 5K prizes.
Hmm.
And so and it was run like officially through the client, sort of like an Arena Open. And so I would sign up for a lot of those and see how many I could make the day to and see if I can make it through the elimination bracket afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
But then Eternal Card Game recently has been on the decline in that they're not releasing as many sets. They're not doing the big competitive tournaments anymore.
Mm.
And so I ended up moving over to playing Magic Arena a lot more.
And it shows 19 wins, 20 wins, 22 wins, 11 wins. Uh, watch out for Matthew in the bot. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, and here's the thing: you can miss Matthew in the bot as much as you want. You're going to run into him in the mega draft. So good luck. Our next question, also from Evan C. Peas of Crab. Of the sets that we were able to take in week one of Edge of Eternities, can you give us a personal preference ranking?
We talked a little bit about this early on. So I think my personal preference is TDM for fixing and being strong, then Final Fantasy, just quite strong. After that, Aether Drift is, I think, solid, has a lot of synergies that could work out.
Hmm.
Duskmourn probably fourth, and Foundation's fifth. However, if we're just doing like standalone draft environments, like Duskmourn,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm a huge fan of that set. It's
Great set.
played so well with other Duskmourn packs.
Yeah. That's such a fun one. Eerie was such a cool mechanic. The rooms were sweet. Like Dustmort was a good set. Our next question from Richard K. Preacher. Describe the ideal cake that he may or may not have delivered to your door as an apology for doubting any of your picks while commentating on your draft.
I don't think I'm very picky about cake. You know, if it's a chocolate cake with vanilla ice cream, like, sounds good to me. In terms of doubting the picks, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think Richard is more, he prefers like a two-color deck. So when
Yeah.
he has three colors, he's trying to figure out which are the two colors. Whereas I'm reasonably comfortable playing like a three-color deck if green is a big part of it. So like once I had some green fixing and ramp, I'm like, I could probably just play all three of these colors.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking a little about like, which are the main colors, but happy to play them all. That said, some of my Mega Draft picks may have been questionable indeed. Like I questioned some of them myself. I took a few very speculative picks. I'm like, so I took like often like, pick 9 or 10 or something. I took the 5-color Tom Bombadil. It was like, maybe some sagas will show up.
It's Saga
And I
Draft.
took Light Pause because I was like, maybe some auras will show up.
Yeah.
And the White Crystal. It's like maybe I end up, with white as one of my colors. And
I think that's good for the Mega Draft though. There you get so many picks and you have so many extra cards that like you have tons of time to speculate as long as you're not missing out on like a B plus level card or better, like you can switch your colors up to even pack 4 in the Mega Draft probably. Like you get so many cards.
yeah, so just taking some powerful cards or some things that might work out, and some of them do, some of them don't. That's fine.
All right, we got 2 more questions, but we're getting a little short on time, so I have to go just a little quick. So sorry for it to be speeding through these last ones. But Brian G. Fedaykin, same question as about a year ago. Let's hear about your music preferences right now.
My music preferences, I don't really know how to describe it. I hear songs and sometimes I like them and I'm like, that was cool, let's listen to more like that. I've listened to, I guess, a variety of styles. So some like 80s pop, like Depeche Mode or Alan Parsons Project.
Love it.
And then some random like songs from musicals or from anime,
Hmm.
just whatever style. Occasionally I'll throw in like a French song in there. I think like Indila is an artist that I like the songs, they're, I don't know. So just a variety of whatever sounds good.
I love it. And last from Nick A. Neestar, I remember Matthew loving Seize Opportunity and Tarkir Dragonstorm when my data rotten brain saw it at 51.9%. However, I've now come to the conclusion he is a much better player than I am. So what is his approach to using data in limited?
So for that specific example, in Tarkir Dragonstorm, I had 2 copies of Corey Steelcutter in my pool, and
Hmm.
that card is busted. As long as you can play 2 spells in a turn, you get monks, they get
Yeah.
prowess. And so for that deck, I was like, okay, I want these 2 Steelcutters, and then I have some other flurry payoffs and some prowess cards. So I just want to keep churning through as many, I want to be able to play 2 cards a turn as often as I can. So
Hmm.
Seize Opportunity was 3 mana, exile 2, you can play them this turn or next turn. And so like that helps me get to my double spelling, triggers my prowess, and it fit the plan. And also, I think I had like 4 copies of Seize Opportunity in my starting pool.
You made it look great. It was a card I don't think I played the whole format, and you played it. And I was like, Matthew is making this card look like the best card in the world. What's going
Yeah.
on?
So in that case, it was like the card fit with what I wanted to do with my deck. It
Yeah.
gave me card advantage or let me keep casting spells. But in general, for data, what I like to do is, I like to try cards. I'll pick a card that I haven't played with before, see how it feels, and then I'll occasionally like look at some data and see, like get a vibe check. These cards that I think are good or bad, are they actually performing well? And see, if there are some cards I'm over or underestimating, think about why that might be, maybe pick them higher or lower.
Hmm.
But I've found that a lot of cards that have low win rate are just very situational, and in the right decks, they can still perform very well. So one example of that is in Aether Drift. Red White was it had very low win rates because it wasn't fast. Everyone's trying to build red-white aggro, and the red-white deck just wasn't aggressive enough. But some of the red-white cards were pretty good for playing a slower mid-range strategy, where you get things like a 4/5 reach, or you get there's a multicolored 4 damage to all creatures and flicker one of your things. And there's some other just like big red-white things where a red-white deck could play a solid long game, but those cards individually look like they have a low win rate because they don't perform well in the aggressive red-white deck. Another example in Final Fantasy, Minwu is your clerics get bigger whenever you gain life.
Yes.
And this card had a really bad win rate because it's so situational. There isn't much of a life gain theme. But like in the league deck, I had 3 White Mage's Staff, and with that, every White Mage Staff attack triggers life gain to grow all the clerics, including whatever the staff is equipped to. And so like with the right synergies, it's very good. Another example was in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the blue-red second spell archetype really underperformed. And so people just assumed all those cards are terrible. But I found that Outlaws of Thunder Junction also had like a lot of deserts and fixing. So some of the multicolored green desert piles was very happy to splash a second spell payoff. That's like second spell, draw a card, second spell, get a counter, or, do 2 damage.
Yeah.
So in the right deck, you can find a home. Just think about, does this work in my deck, regardless of the stats?
It's so funny you bring up that cleric card because it was open in the Mega Draft yesterday, and we were commentating and we passed it. We were saying, "Oh, this card's bad." Cleric's life gain in this draft, no way. That deck ended up with 3 copies of Salmon Herbalist, which is a 2-drop cleric that whenever it attacks, you gain a life, and Scry one, and possibly some other clerics. And at the time, you think there's no way this works out. But then later on, in 3 packs later, you're like, that cleric card makes total sense now. But how do you know that's going to get there? Or
it's hard to keep track of how many cards in a multi-set draft are going to be clerics.
Right? Yeah. And cleric's one of those things where it's like usually it's not a super supported. It's not usually a heavy cleric set. Those don't come up a lot. But hey, it can happen. You never know what's going to be in that mega draft.
That's right.
Well, Matthew, thanks so much for coming on the show. You're a great guest. You're an awesome guy and a great Magic player. I bow down to you, champion, as you beat me in the finals. I bow down. I wish you luck against Sawyer. You got your work cut out for you, man. He's a great player. He's got a great deck, just like you. Great player, great deck. So I hope we get to see some great finals and see some good Magic. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. It should be an exciting match.
Hey,
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hey, always a pleasure, and we'll see you out there in Edge of Eternities. Again, Matthew's the best. I can't say enough great things about him. Real bummed that he didn't get to take it all the way and get his first league win against Sawyer, but that's how it goes sometimes. They had great games. Went to best of 5. They got to game 5, and just wasn't in the cards for Matthew in that game. And Sawyer's deck was wonderful. It was great. It's the Traxa built deck was built wonderfully by another amazing player, Sawyer, who will hopefully be coming on the show next week to talk all about it, because his deck was super fun to watch, and he's 16 top 8s, one of the best players in the whole server, and gets a 3rd league win under his belt. So congrats to Sawyer for taking the league win. And I've been talking way too much, so it's time to wrap this thing up. Get involved, get in the community, be a part of it. There's a lot of great talk going on right now about rules and crews, and people like it, and how people really want these groups, and is that a thing they should keep doing? If it's something you like, go talk about it. Don't be silent if you want change, if you want these things to be added in. There's discussion on Spider-Man League. There's side events going on. Evan's got a Miranda's Mega Draft Madness coming up. John D is doing a fun Magic game show I got to go fill out the questionnaire for. I'm going to do terrible on that. And then there's other side events. I know Johnny's hinted at Magic Ball coming back. I don't know how many people are going to be in it, how big it's going to be, but I tell you, that side event was incredible last year. It's going to be great again. You want to be in it. You want to be a part of it. You want to be involved in the community. Just go out and do it. Until then, I hope you get to keep a good 7 and that shuffler is in your favor. Until then, I guess this is Go Home.